Hello, all you fine folks out there in beading land. Today's tutorial is about quilling. Now, this reminds me of quilling in papercraft, and that's where you probably have heard it from, but I'm going to use it with beads. Aha! Basically, most of the time when we're doing beads, we're stringing them one after another in a line. But in the case of quilling, we're going to actually put them on end and do them side by side. So this is a little bit different.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
To begin with, I've got my size 11 needle and some 3-pound fire line. I'm using smoke. I find that seems to disappear the best into most patterns. I suppose maybe when you're using a yellow bead, a clear would be better, or white. But we're going to change colors as we go along, so I'm going to use the smoke. You can even, I know I did one once that I used all kinds of different colors, and I used different colors for different beads. It's all good. All right, so it starts with a ladder stitch, as many designs do. And I'm going to start with 4 of these guys. Oh, and by the way, this pattern, you can also create your patterns for quilling using this downloadable seed bead graph paper from firemountaingems.com. This is for the peyote stitch. And you can see I've created a little tiny pattern right here. This is the pattern I'm following today for this tutorial. So I'm going to start with 4 black beads done in a ladder stitch. So I'm picking up 2 beads, and I'm going to stitch through those 2 beads again to make them lay side by side. I'm using number 8 delicas, and they're perfect for this because they have nice straight walls. They're a cylinder-shaped bead, so they don't mind at all being side by side like that. And we're going to see them endwise this way in our pattern. So I make these side by side, and I'll go back down through this second one again so that I'm lined up to add another one. Go in through there, and as they come around, make sure they lie side by side. Aren't these delicas beautiful? Look at this. It's like they want to be little soldiers and just line up next to each other. It can be done with tohos and other beads as well, but it is a little more challenging to get them to lie side by side. So I'm adding another bead. There's the beginning of my pattern. I've got 4 beads in a ladder stitch. Now, I could have also done this 2 beads thick like I did with this sun catcher, which gives you a more robust and firm type of pattern. Or you can just leave them one by like this so they're nice and light for these earrings, which even have a void in the center. Kind of fun that you can do this sort of thing with quilling. Okay, so I've got these 4, and according to my pattern, I'm going to want a black one, and then 3 of the yellows, and then another black one. So I'm going to pick up a black one and sew it to this last one on this chain here. Now, the thing to remember with quilling is that every single bead has to be sewn to every other bead on all sides. So the next bead is going to go right in here. It's going to be a yellow one right here where I'm pointing, kind of in the fleshy part of my finger. So a yellow bead, I'm going to attach it to this black bead, side by side. And it's the yellow one I'm working on, so I want to come out that yellow. And it has to fit into the pattern right there. So I need to stitch this yellow one to this black one here. I'm coming out the bottom, so I'm going to go up through the bottom. Make that yellow one come over where I want her. Come on over. And stitch her down there. This is not a fast sort of pattern. I call these heirloom patterns because if you're making it because you want your family to keep it forever. So now this one needs to come over here. Can you see how that is in the pattern? This is this yellow one right here. So I've got a black one here, a yellow one here. So not only did I need to stitch the yellow to this black and to this black, I've also got to stitch it to that black. So I'm coming out the bottom right now. So dip here and down here. All that just to stitch that one yellow bead in. Whee! Next one. Yellow bead's going to go right here. Pick up another yellow. We're coming out the bottom, so I'm going to go in through the top. Just stitch the two yellows to each other. Ta-da! Then I want to go back through that yellow. And I want to stitch it to the adjacent blacks. So I'm going to that black. Not only do you have to stitch it to the adjacent blacks, but you have to have a bridge across here, and you're going to have one across the bottom. So I'm also going to come back up again and make sure that bottom bridge is there. And I have to stitch to that black bead right there. So go down. That makes a bridge across the top and bottom, across the top. And I'm going to go up this way, and that'll make my bridge across the bottom. And that yellow is firmly attached. Adding another yellow. Right here. So I'm going to go up to the bottom to make them lie side by side like that. And now that's firmly stitched there, but we're working on the yellow. So this yellow has to be attached to this bead, and it has to be attached to that bead. Go to this bead first. So that made the bottom bridge. We've got to go back through it again and make the top bridge. So that's attached on top and bottom to all the beads adjacent to it. This one right here. That made a bottom bridge across the bottom. And a top bridge across the top. To finish this row, and you don't even have to go row by row. You can go any direction you want. But I need to add a black bead right here. Actually, I guess this is iris blue, to be precise. And there he goes, laying side by side the way I want him. I want to attach this black bead to this black bead. Come up through that black bead, down through that black bead, and across. So I'm back to where I want to work from now. So now I would start another row going this direction. And I double check, because I can always go back and fix anything where I've missed. I double check that I've got bridges between every single bead. And I do on every single one of the top beads. I check the bottom, make sure I didn't miss any here. Make sure there's bridges between every single bead. Because otherwise your pattern gets kind of loose and not quilly, not firm and solid like a coaster. And you can see I'm going to do some more rows, and I end up with a piece that looks like that. Ta-da! And I'm thinking I could do like 5 of these and maybe make a star pattern by sewing them all together. I don't know. Your creativity is up to you. You can use these patterns to make any kinds of patterns you want using this peyote stitch graph paper pattern. And go do some slow quilling stitch. It takes time, but it makes a really great product. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you again. Happy beading!